Welcome to our continuing series, Explorations in Savitri, with our beloved Alok. Today we come to one of the most beautiful and powerful passages in Savitri. I'm going to begin where I ended off last time. Page 313, the last line. A heart was felt in the spaces, wide and bare. A burning love from white spiritual founts annulled the sorrow of the ignorant depths. Suffering was lost in her immortal smile. A life from beyond grew conqueror here of death. To err no more was natural to mind. Wrong could not come where all was light and love. The formless and the formed were joined in her. Immensity was exceeded by a look. A face revealed the crowded infinite, incarnating inexpressibly in her limbs. Incarnating inexpressibly in her limbs, the boundless joy, the blind world forces seek. Her body of beauty mooned the seas of bliss. At the head she stands of birth and toil and fate. In their slow round, the cycles turn to her call. Alone, her hands can change time's dragon base. Hers is the mystery the night conceals. The spirit's alchemist energy is hers. She is the golden bridge, the wonderful fire. The luminous heart of the unknown is she, a power of silence in the depths of God. She is the force, the inevitable word, the magnet of our difficult ascent, the sun from which we kindle all our suns, the light that leans from the unrealized vasts, the joy that beckons from the impossible, the might of all that never yet came down. All nature dumbly calls to her alone to heal with her feet the aching throb of life and to break the seals on the dim soul of man and kindle her fire in the closed heart of things. All here shall be one day her sweetness home. All contraries prepare her harmony. Towards her our knowledge climbs, our passion gropes. In her miraculous rapture we shall dwell. Her clasp shall turn to ecstasy our pain. Our self shall be one self with all through her. In her confirmed, because transformed in her, our life shall find in its fulfilled response above the boundless, hushed beatitudes, below the wonder of the embrace divine.
Actually, it leaves one speechless. So here is the key that Ashwapati has been seeking through such a long and arduous tapasya. The key to nature's change, the alchemist energy of transformation, the womb, the golden womb of all things, from which all has emerged, by which all is sustained and towards which all is helplessly drawn. People often ask, they want to fight with their nature, they want to change their nature, and they want to work it out all by themselves. So even today morning, someone was mentioning this, and I was saying that you don't even know what this nature is about. You want to change it by your own efforts. It will make a fool of you. We have to go back to that power, that energy, that love, which is at the source of creation, that wisdom. And she has the, not just the capacity, but the mandate to change it. Now we can make our efforts, nothing wrong with it. But we must know that all our efforts, ultimately in the end, converge on this one truth, that it is she and she alone who can change it. Anyone who has walked sufficiently long in yoga knows this truth. And then you wonder, some are very fortunate to know it from day one, why you didn't do this right from day one. To keep referring to her, keep offering to her, she has the key. And whatever be the problem, whatever be the difficulty. So who is she? A heart was felt in the spaces wide and bare. It is not a cold, impersonal void. There is a heart throbbing in each atom of existence, in the vastness of the universe and beyond the universe.
Yes, and that's an interesting thing when he says the sun from which we kindle all our suns. Science is telling us now that the sun is going to last 350,000 years. And yet we have the sun that kindles all our suns.
And what is this heart full of? A burning love from white spiritual founts. This is the original love. We talk about unconditional love, true love. If you experience even a touch of this love, you understand that all else is a travesty. Because this is the original love which can love without any conditions and pour and pour and pour. Someone was speaking about human love vis-a-vis divine love. See, in divine love, there is a difference. Of course, it's true, divine is in everyone and everywhere. And you can, through human love, also ultimately arrive, because the principle of love is same. But there is a difference. In human love, two things come in. The play of ego and desire from the other side as well. So even if you try to, keep away everything, still it will come. But from the divine, when you love the divine, from the side of the divine, this is not there. So it helps immensely to continue to love, because the divine continues to love. There is no such ego barrier or, I will hold it because you have spoken to me like this. And the desire element, the expectation, all this is not there as far as the divine is concerned. So in the first stage, it is much better and much safer and much saner to love the divine exclusively. It's like Ken Upanishad and the Isha Upanishad. Ken Upanishad is a first step before you arrive at the Isha Upanishad, which is more like a graduation and a post-graduation. So first, Tadeva Brahman Tvam Viddhi Nedam Yadidam Upasate. It's there, not here. So you have to turn toward the divine exclusive in a constant offering of that love. Now that love, burning love, one day kindles your heart. And that's the time this love that you receive, you can radiate and spread, because then you don't have any expectation. For the simple reason that you are being much more than abundantly, constantly filled with this love. And what this love does, what is its action? Annulled the sorrow of the ignorant depths. Sorrow is due to ignorance, and it is the abyss which feels the yearning of what it has lost, and therefore it experiences sorrow. It's like, at night when plants become very still and quiet, waiting for the light. If you can feel the plants in the morning, they are all suddenly, there's a birth. Even before the morning comes, they get that sense. So, this is the cause of sorrow. It is the sense of separation from the divine, which is what is the ignorance, and that is what the abyss is. And in the abyss, we try to fill this sorrow with all kinds of outer things, but they are scentless flowers. They may look good, but they are scentless. In the end, it is only when the divine smile, the divine love enters the abyss that it can be fulfilled. Annulled the sorrow of the ignorant depths. Suffering was lost in her immortal smile. Perfect remedy for suffering. And I can tell this to you, all of us, regardless of whatever kind, there are three kinds of suffering: daihik, daivik, bhautik, from material nature, material sufferings, and those that are inflicted by the gods as part of your fate, and those that are completely confined to your body. Bodily suffering, suffering because of the environment, material that you are living in, and those, they are a part of your fate or destiny. Now, any kind of suffering that may be, but even to gaze at her smiling picture is, or to contemplate her smile within. Is a poem of Sri Aurobindo, The Divine Worker, where he says, "Thy smile within my heart makes all my strength, indifferent to the time snake's crawling length." So, this smile of the Divine Mother, this is her answer, and it heals everything. A life from beyond grew conqueror here of death. To err no more was natural to mind. Wrong could not come where all was light and love. So that is why in Sri Aurobindo's yoga we don't have yama and niyama, and people get very disoriented because they say, "Oh, you all live in so much freedom and there must be some rules." But there is a reason. Even when we see the human cycle, Sri Aurobindo says if you really want an authentic spiritual growth, it has to be in freedom. And he says, including, yes, you will make mistakes, there will be errors, but that is the path. But look at it in the ashram. Now we have so many rules and regulations, but in the beginning, when Sri Aurobindo was asked, he gave only one rule. What was the rule? Live always as if you are under the eyes of the Divine Mother. So, if you live with that consciousness, it's difficult movement because one tends to lose that awareness. But if one lives with that consciousness during that moment, it's impossible to make mistakes, to err. Now here, err has nothing to do with our conceptions of, right and wrong. You take the straight path, the path that is meant for you, is in its unfolding, great unfolding. Wrong could not come where all was light and love. The formless and the formed were joined in her. Immensity was exceeded by a look. A face revealed the crowded infinite. So some people ask Sri Aurobindo that the realization of this yoga, is it Sagun Brahma or is it Nirgun Brahma? Is it something like Nirvikalp Samadhi? Because if you read traditional literature, I had also read it, that Nirvikalp Samadhi is the highest. So Savikalp Samadhi is where your seeds of your karma are still there, somewhere. But Nirvikalp is where they are gone. So you have passed into the beyond. So there is a letter of Sri Aurobindo. The realization of this yoga is greater than the Nirvikalp Samadhi. And if you open to the Mother, you will have both the realizations of the Sagun and the Nirgun aspects of the Divine. Formless and the formed. Because she is the origin of that. So the formless, even that formless state, all states of consciousness emerge from her, including the state of what we call as nirvana, the unmanifest, being, non-being, everything. She is the original womb. All states of consciousness have emerged from her. So anything she chooses, she can bestow. Even yogins in the past knew this. incarnating inexpressibly in her limbs, the boundless joy the blind world forces seek. Her body of beauty moaned the seas of bliss. So this is the Anandamayi, and this is the path. When you experience more and more of that bliss, quite naturally the knot of desire is broken. So some knots take a long time, some are broken instantly. Sri Aurobindo was asked this question: can the grace of the divine cut the knots immediately, as Sri Ramakrishna is supposed to have said? He says it's not like that, but some of the primary things can get immediately dissolved. And then there are hardcore resistances which take longer. But the method is the same. She will keep pouring her bliss, and after some time you see the big contrast between the experience which comes by the touch of her smile and the joys of ordinary life. The blind world forces seek. So slowly you see constantly by contrast that this is rolling in the mud and that is playing with the stars, though they are both made of dust. So slowly this experience grows till finally the blind world forces, the joy that they seek, the ignorant passions, they just drop away.
Aurobindo Basu once told me about himself personally that she removed things as one would remove a cloak.
Yes.
Just
This is the
as simple
experience.
as that.
Yeah. This is the experience. Of course, we have to let it go. We may hold on to it as something precious. So, and in fact, very interesting this process since you're mentioning. You see that even the things which used to give you joy, we use the word joy, actually it's pleasure. Later on, even if mechanically, habitually one does that, there is no more that joy or pleasure in it, because you have received that touch. Now comes Chaitanyamayi. See, in the beginning, all this annulled the sorrow, suffering was lost, bliss, Anandamayi. Now is the Chaitanyamayi. At the head she stands of birth and toil and fate. In their slow round the cycles turn to her call. Alone her hands can change time's dragon base. So she is the one who can change even the event towards which the collective march of mankind may be going. We cannot understand the import of these words. Mother has given some hints about it very passingly. One is where she sees that because she wants this new creation, there is a being whom she identifies as one of the beings who wants to oppose her work.
Yes.
So he starts throwing all kinds of, she says, you come and see, I am going to show you what I am doing.
Yeah.
So she says, okay, they are also her children. Let's see what this child is playing up with. So she goes on a place which is more like a terrace. And then he is throwing all kinds of, bombing as if like bombs. She uses the word like bombs. And she sees for some time. Then she feels very amused. So she tells him, is this what you are going to do? He, with very as if, he is going to instill fear. She just walks away. Says, this is nonsense. This is not going to work. Look at the confidence. And then she experiences, she's in a vehicle and where there is a flood which is chasing her. And she must reach a point where beyond which everything is safe. So this is a long journey, and after which she manages to reach a point. This is just like the story of the great flood, but she has told it in her own way, direct experience, because all the stories of the great flood are from the point of view of the king. Either it is Noah or Gilgamesh or it is King Satyavrat. But what was Lord Vishnu experiencing, we don't know. So this is how the Divine Mother is experiencing. Whole creation is being drowned, it can drown, and eventually she comes out. And she knows that the earth is saved. Several places this comes in Mother's talks, her prayers, that regardless of whatever the collective destiny of mankind may be, If she is there, she decides. She calls the final shot. She can change time's dragon base. And to put it in context, because I've often heard people, even sometimes people, apparently what is called as Aurobindonians, the term, suddenly feel very hopeless, and what is going to happen. Array, you see everywhere there is problem, there is darkness. Then they at the end say, okay, anyways, we take the word. Shobinda has said, but we don't see it. Now, it is very surprising because when mother was asked about the Third World War, the mother everywhere, will there be a Indo-Pak war, Indo-China war, and they are very scared. Now it is the latest is 370. What may happen? What may happen? In childhood, we had heard a small little phrase. My parents used to say this, and it struck with me. And so beautiful and so true. And the phrase in Hindi is, I'll translate in English, Jako rakhe saiya, maar sake na koi, bal na baka kar sake, jo jag beri hoye. He whom the Lord protects, none can harm him, even if the whole world be his enemy. Now, when you grow up in that culture, you find it so absurd. So, when mother was asked, he said, my child, the supramental is here. Whatever happens, whatever may take place, ultimately everything will lead towards the supramental victory. We don't have to worry about it. In fact, she used the word, the supreme wisdom is looking at it. You don't worry about, Iran-Iraq problem, and it's okay to observe it. But this may happen because it adds to the problem. When we are afraid, when we throw doubts, we are actually increasing in the sum pool of, she will clear it, but why are we wanting to increase her work? We should live with the luminous trust that now that the supramental manifestation is taking place, nothing can eventually stop it. And that's why she said, never for a moment we must vacillate in the certitude that this work is going to be. So this is because, why is she saying it? Because she is the one who is the author. She is the one who is going to sign the decree. She is the one who is the initiator of the program.
Yes.
Alone, her hands can change time's dragon base. And now comes some marvelous lines. Where is there anything like a place where consciousness is not? Chaitanyamai, everywhere she is there, including the night. When darkness was dense and covered with darkness, he was seated within it, immense and alone. Hers is the mystery the night conceals. Even darkness, even terror, even all that is happening will lead towards that. That's why it is supreme wisdom. It doesn't work like our human wisdom. Human wisdom is like, this is good, this is bad. So eliminate the bad, keep the good, and mother says if you work like that, you will end up eliminating everything. But divine wisdom doesn't work like that. It uses very often night to prepare for a greater dawn. It uses evil to bring out good. Long back, one of Sri Aurobindo's letter to Nilani Devi. As you know, in this world, very often, God uses evil to bring out good. This is his ways. So night is what? She is hidden. She is as Mother Kali. Night is nothing but the tresses of her hairs all around. But we must look at the beautiful face of the Divine Mother. Even if she is terrible, she is the mother. Kali Karali. The spirit's alchemist energy is hers. What people were looking for through ages. The alchemist energy which can transmute iron into gold. So what is iron? But this hard, ignorant material consciousness. What is gold? The supramental. So they were looking for this energy. It is not relevant whether there is a material thing of that kind or not. There may be, because there is the equivalent of everything. But it's not that gold after which they were searching for. But what can transmute this consciousness, this material hard like iron, whose grip is so obstinate on human nature? Can it be transmuted into, can these chains, iron chains, which keep us like a prisoner, can be transmuted into golden ornaments of the Lord? That's how in Savitri she describes the freedom, true freedom. She is the golden bridge, the wonderful fire. The luminous heart of the unknown is she, a power of silence in the depths of God. She is the force, the inevitable word. This, inevitable word reminds me of something. People in India, the word Om is so charged with divine vibrations, and Mother said something about it. Apart from all the intellectual understanding and all, she said it's because for ages it has been used with this thought behind it. So the word has been charged with a collective faith that people have invested in this word. But I have found that, Om is, of course, wonderful. There is no doubt about it. But this is a simpler word, which is there in creation. It is Ma. Ma. Even the calf knows it. Every child knows it. One of the first words, the inevitable word. A child, if she says Om, then mother will be scared. Show to a psychiatrist what's wrong with the child. Even a traditional Indian mother, पता नहीं क्या Om करता रहता है. Is he okay? But if he says Ma, she'll come running. The inevitable word. The word that has the power of the mantra to release those divine vibrations that are going to change future time. The magnet of her difficult ascent. Just keep looking at her. You will keep moving. She's the magnet. It's difficult, but at the end, you see, it's that's why the word Krishna actually means one who draws. Akarshan, Vikarshan is born from that root. So Krishna actually means that aspect of the divine, the Anandamay, who draws you inevitably. So once you have opened to her, you have no choice. You will be drawn. How long can you remain, tied up in the mud play? After some time, the child plays this thing, but the moment he gets hurt, the moment he is hungry, after a while, he knows that he must get back home where mother is waiting, preparing the best of food. So, same thing applies here. Magnet of our difficult ascent.
And our difficult ascent is actually the magnet that
she pulls us. So, makes it so much easier. The sun from which we kindle all our suns. And these are not just material suns, which are countless, billions of galaxies in which there are trillions of suns. And that is just the material universe. And there are vital suns, there are mental suns in the mental world. And see, here we have, she is Aditi. Aditi, undivided consciousness, is also the mother of Adityas, the sons. The 12 sons of, according to one of the legends, she has 12 children. They are all called as Adityas. And of course, we also call the eldest as Aditya. Aditya is one of the names for sun. So, they are emerging from her, the sun, from which we kindle all her sons. इस अंदाज में माँ अदिति का नाम किसी ने नहीं लिया है. Nobody has taken Mother Aditi's name in this way. The sun from which we kindle all our suns. The light that leans from the unrealized past. Where is she coming from? No seer has ever reached even near to that point. So unrealized past. Nobody, all the tapasya and seers and sages, they have not come up to that point. They have had a glimpse here or there. Based on her grace, the whole world lives in a single ray of her sun. That's how. Thus is it even with the seer and the sage, for still the human limits the divine. That's how he describes. So where is she coming from? Unrealized past. And we have the temerity to write her biography. The mother was born on 21st February 1873. When she was asked, 1878. And when she was asked, what did she say? My child, I have never left the earth since its inception. Whenever and wherever there was the possibility of a ray of the divine consciousness to manifest, I was there. So, our material vision and the deeper truth. So, when we say 21st February 1878, then we also say 17th November 1973. When we live in the consciousness that she is the eternal mother, then where has she gone? Limitations of our eyes. That's all. She came within the narrow ken of human sight and she has stepped behind because it's necessary for us to grow. Because people often don't understand this. Sometimes they ask, why didn't the divine intervene? Why didn't, for small things, whether it be for exam, for this or that, the divine mother should have intervened. So sometimes they ask, सब माँ कर देंगी, तुम्हारा भी कुछ growth होना है कि everything you want the divine to do, you don't want to grow. You want to remain like a little, helpless weakling. She doesn't want that. She wants you to grow even as the gods. To face the challenge. Yes, she is there, but she is deliberately stepped behind. So that we can grow. Face the challenge. Become strong. Because with Mother and Sri Aurobindo's physical presence, many things just couldn't come. And they knew it very well. Yet in her infinite love for the children, ask the people, they will tell you. Many things, they were just impossible. So you're not really facing the real challenge which is needed to grow. At some point, she steps behind. Okay, fine. Have your growth. But she's always there. Those who have opened to her know it very well. The joy that beckons from the impossible. That Ananda, that famous New Year message of the mother, where she says, this wonderful world of delight waiting at our gates for our call to come. And she was asked since when she is waiting. This is in 60s. She said much before, late 40s, she had come. But nobody was there to hold her. That's why we see in Sri Aurobindo's The Mother, where he says there are other powers and personalities of the Divine Mother. One especially is her mysterious personality of bliss and Ananda. But it couldn't come down. Because you have to be, what she says is a super Parsifal. There should be not at least seeking for any pleasure. Then you are ready for Ananda. Then the child asked, she couldn't come down in you. She said, it doesn't, we don't have that kind of relation. It is not coming down in me. That's not the issue. There should be human vessels ready for it. She can come down any time in her and go back. She is that. She is emerged out of her. And Mother put it very sweetly. We don't have that kind of relation that I'll tell her you come down in me. So, the joy that beckons from the impossible. The might of all that never yet came down. All the gods and titans and kings and the rulers, all the might together, it still would not equal. All nature dumbly calls to her alone, to heal with her feet the aching throb of life, and break the seals on the dim soul of man, and kindle her fire in the closed heart of things. This exactly you must be remembering Nishikanto's story, where he was on the deathbed, maybe few days at most, and he couldn't even speak. With some gesture he said, take me to Mother. And they took him in a stretcher and brought it downstairs, where now you have the meditation or whatever. And then Mother came down and Mother asked him, what do you want? He pointed at her feet and said, keep your feet on my heart. Mother said, very intelligent. He recovered, went on to live for another 12 years. He left his body after the Divine Mother. Left, withdrew. So, with the feet. Feet are the symbol of power. From that the power flows.
There's an interesting end to that story. Mother put one foot on his chest And he said, can you imagine if she put 2 feet?
He had a tremendous sense of humor. Tremendous sense of humor. His stories are legion.
Yes.
And can you imagine what would happen? This world would shake. He was the one who would stand in the playground with all his diabetes and blood pressure and having handi of rasgulla, and mother once scolded him because people said, you tell him he doesn't listen to anyone, keeps eating sweets. He would go to lake with a handi of rasgulla and keep popping and write poetry. So mother called him, Nishikanto, is it true? What, mother? That you have been gulping down so many rasgulla? Yes, mother. Aren't you worried? Your health, I believe, doctor has said this, diabetes, that. He said, mother, I am Mahakali's child. Should I be worried or afraid? Okay, go. That state of consciousness. And in the playground, he would ask for, many people were not eating groundnuts which were given. I don't know why. Mother is giving. So anyways, probably that's what, because every day they were receiving so much that probably the value. I just had one of the groundnuts somebody had kept and I felt so blessed. Now, you can imagine. So those days he would give and everybody would stand in queue, and mother used to walk very fast. She would somebody would carry the bowl and she would just put it and like unimaginable, like it, such a speed. Wherever you see some of the mother's videos, you will think it's FF, but it's not FF. It's actually her normal speed. I mean, it was very difficult to catch up with her. So she would, put. So Nishikanta was told not to eat. So Nishikanta would suddenly, quietly from behind put a hand. And as she would come there, suddenly she would stop. Pick up one little groundnut. Look at the perfection. Not with if we have to do it, we'll probably. One little groundnut and put it in his hand. So he tried all tricks, putting from both sides. Then he tried another trick. He would tell all the people, those who are not taking out groundnut, you please come and give me. In return, he would tell news.
Yes.
Then there were so some transistor, one or two, he would hear the news, I'll tell you news, give me the groundnuts. So they were keeping the ground. That's how ultimately the groundnut thing stopped. Because people, so you have to value. It's like you can't imagine, mother giving groundnut. And
I was invited to his birthday party. And he was like an emperor, he was huge and in this way beautiful. And they told me the story that he came before Sri Aurobindo, and Sri Aurobindo gave him a choice. He said, if you stay with me, you will suffer pain as you have never suffered. If you go outside, you will become one of the most famous poets in the world. And Nishikanta said, I'll stay with you.
At the feet of the mother. But look at the thing, and he said, your body is not ready.
Yeah.
You won't be able to bear the pressure of transformation. Yes. And number of people it was like that. Chitranjan Das, who wanted the yoga from Sri Aurobindo, who is the famous advocate, who said, long after the man is gone. So he came, he wanted yoga from Sri Aurobindo. He said, your body is not ready, you will break down. But what I'll do is, my protection will be with you and grace will be with you wherever you go. Yes. So what a tremendous pressure it must be. Dilip Kumar Roy, that's why he was sent repeatedly, because the body was not ready to bear the pressure. Not easy to be near the divine. But she is the one who kindles and kindle her fire in the closed heart of things. All here shall be one day, her sweetness is home. What an assurance. She is the secret of all harmony. All contraries prepare her harmony. You see, in the Puranas we have this, it's not just Shiva, but more importantly, Mother Parvati. All the gods and titans, they would go to Mount Kailash. Why? They knew that Shiva is mighty, he doesn't care, let all come. And Mother Parvati would prepare a very nice kheer for everyone. She will not say. In the beginning itself it comes, in the marriage. So Shiva brings with him all the ghaus, the ghosts, the demons, everybody. So people don't understand. Mother Parvati's human mother says, what kind of a husband? Coming on a bull, no Mercedes, nothing. All the gods have such lovely vahanas. She says, I know. And bringing all these ghouls and ghosts and these terrible fellows. Mother Divine says, trust me, he knows his job. Why? He's bringing them to the Divine Mother. Where else can they be liberated? And as the legend goes, a very touching legend, where they come and she serves all of them food. And they don't know how to eat because they are like that. Uncouth, populace. And they बोलते ना खाने पर टूट पड़ना, they jump at it. And then everybody is stunned. The gods, but she is there with the same loving smile, same care. That's because she has that power. And she alone can harmonize. And you see in the ashram context, there were people who were all from different planes. Some of them were all beings from other worlds. And they may not see each other eye to eye, but they were all united around Mother. Even now you will see two people I have seen fighting with each other, hammer and tongs. But I have seen this wonderful thing. I have seen both sides come to the samadhi. So sometimes I wonder what they must be praying. These people must be praying, Humko jitana. We must win. And the other side must be saying, we must win. Because both believe that they are right, after all, you know. When Mother was asked, when there was a strike in the ashram, in the press, so she was asked that, Mother, why don't you do something and, you know, these striking, agitating workers. He said, why do you think that the grace is only with you and not with them? Grace is with all. Whoever opens. Why do you think that you are alone or specially privileged? So she put everything in perspective. So they said, then what do we do? She said, open yourself. This is not the way that you are fighting and trying to, you will not find truth in this way. She says, grace is with all. Even the Titan can seek the grace. She will not say, oh, you are a bad guy. All the more grace will be there because, he needs to change. Sri Aurobindo speaks of this in The Problem of Rebirth. All contraries prepare her harmony like music of grand orchestra. Towards her our knowledge climbs, our passion grows. Marvelous line. When we arrive at her, inwardly, all becomes silent and quiet because she is the source of all knowledge and all passions because they are heaving to reach that high point. This is the destiny of man, prophecy. In her miraculous rapture we shall dwell. Her clasp shall turn to ecstasy our pain. Our self shall be one self with all through her. This is the secret. Not adjustment, accommodation, trying to call we human beings try to do it, adjust, call a meeting, let's discuss, debate. You can't arrive at harmony with this way. But discover the origin. She, who is the mother of all, you will spontaneously live in this consciousness, wideness, universality. All are her children. So that's how harmony, the secret of harmony. Now this is a wonderful line. In her confirmed, because transformed in her. Confirmed. Okay. Yes, you are my child. Confirmed. Nothing more is needed. You see, you have a train ticket, no? And olden times, I don't know, I think rules have changed, become much better. But you could buy a ticket in India even with waiting list of 300 something. 300 something is an impossible thing. But you are waiting till the last moment. Maybe many will cancel. You may come to RAC. All these things used to be there. Then finally he's told, okay, your birth is confirmed. So then now you are reaching your point. I had two very strange experiences while going to Pondicherry. Once I remember why I used 300 because my waiting list was 327. Impossible. And that particular day, one extra bogie was put. I don't know why. Who put it? What was the logic? In a Chennai bound train, I went inside. I slept on a berth. Nobody woke me up. That was the end of the story. Means I woke up in the morning and it was like somehow. Another time, and again I didn't have a booking. Actually, 3 times this confirmed word comes. It's a little humorous aside, but it's very interesting how she works. So, second time again, no booking, but there are people who have got reservation. Mine, because the holiday has to be approved, leave, all this Air Force. So anyways, it got approved and I took the ticket again, waiting list, and I said, okay, when the TT comes, I'll ask him, ticket examiner. And then one seat was vacant and they all said that, it was a group traveling. Occupy the coach, then when he comes, he will wake you up or whoever comes. So I said, okay, till somebody comes. I slept off. Morning I woke up, nobody has come. It seems the man whose seat was there got into some other compartment, and then they used to close the doors. He didn't come. Then he decided, whatever, okay, I'll sleep off here, morning I'll go. So because anyways his station was coming in the morning, so he just slept off because he didn't bother to come and all this. They must be chit chatting. I had a wonderful berth to myself, and the third time was incredible. It is like literally out from those fancy books. So I had come for the supramental day. Year was 1988, and Kavita was here for 2 months, and then I had come. Somehow last minute I got a leave, so I booked my ticket. Return as expected, it was not there. So I just take an open ticket and okay, I'll get into general compartment and come. But I wanted to come for this. So train has come. She is sitting second AC, and she said, why don't you try? Ask. I said, I know that 1 hour before the train comes, the charts are ready. There is no question. He said, why don't you ask? I don't know why she was prompting. So I went to the ticket window. I asked him, literally like that advertisement of Maruti. I said, एक सीट है किसमें which bogie? I said, जब पूछ रहे हैं तो बेशरम. I said, second AC. We have only one. I got that seat. She was traveling. There were a group of 4 people more from Bombay. We were going to Pune. Bhakti Behan, who sent her in Pedder Road, C, and 3 more. Same in that whole thing. There was one seat which was kept. So I was not only got the seat in the compartment exactly with the whole group. So all our journey we were reading Savitri and having such a joy. Now, this word confirmed, like, once he puts her stamp, and I'm sure all of us have countless stories of this kind. Once he says, there is a time in the ancient tradition, they say, you do the yagna, but you are offering, but the gods have not yet accepted the sacrifice. But they are waiting for the moment. But a time comes when they say, okay, yes. After that, it is a very different life altogether. That's what Shri Krishna says in the Gita, Yogishem Vahamyam. I take care even of the material needs of the person. So in her confirmed, because transformed in her, our life shall find in its fulfilled response, whatever we are seeking in life, what we shall find, again, marvelous things. Above the boundless, hushed beatitudes, which we know, but below the wonder of the embrace divine. No more fear, we are getting into this karma bandhan, this world, is a plane of sorrow. Punarapi janmam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. No, janani jatare, not shayanam. Mother's embrace. Here when you come, mother's embrace. There you enter into her boundless beatitude. How lovely life will be. Above the boundless hushed beatitudes, below the wonder of the embrace divine. We'll just read these 6 lines, then we'll stop because this known as in a thunder flash of God. All this is suddenly revealed to Ashupati. The rapture of things eternal filled his limbs. Who won't? That look here, this is it. This journey of transformation is going to be. She is the one who has the alchemist energy. There is nothing impossible to her. And our life will be fulfilled. This prayer is confirmed. Amazement fell upon his ravished sense. His spirit was caught in her intolerant flame. This is the power of love. Love is the most intolerant force. Once you love somebody, you want to completely break all barriers. It comes from the original intolerant flame. So she will not allow anything else in the world to come between you and the divine. Once seen, his heart acknowledged only her. Only a hunger of infinite bliss was left. All aims in her were lost, then found in her. She takes away everything. You want to do this, you want it to be this, everything finished. But then she gives you back what you are meant to do. Not what you thought you wanted to be, but what she wants you to do and where she wants you to be. All aims in her were lost, then found in her. His base was gathered to one pointing spire. And this is she of whom Satyavan says at the end, if this is she of whom the world has heard, wonder no more at any happy change. Each easy miracle of felicity of her transmuting heart to the alchemy is. So we'll meet